How can you use your intuition to help you accelerate along your career path and or in reaching your goals faster? If you've watched some of my other videos, you may have heard me share this story before about how I really struggled to get my career started and how I finally got on my path, and then just it started to really accelerate much faster once I got going. But I was thinking about this today, so I wanted to hop on and do a video about specifically using your intuition along your career path, and how sometimes that even means throwing logic out the window just for a little bit, not for the entire time, not along your entire path, but just to help point you in the direction and get over the fear of taking that initial step without knowing what the outcome is going to be, right? Because if we are controlling, if we have to have control over what the outcome is going to be, it has to be this way, it has to be this opportunity, it has to be this company, it has to be this industry. Well, we might be missing out on a whole other potential opportunity that could be so much better. So somebody shared this with me recently, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it along here. Open yourself up to possibility by saying this or something better. Okay, so it's going to be the outcome I want is going to be this one that I'm excited about and thinking is the right one for me, or something better. Okay, so backing up here. I do career coaching now as part of, one of the things that I do, which is ironic because or maybe not, but I really struggled to get my career started. I was scattered in so many different directions because I had an interest in acting. I had an interest in writing. I had a job where I was waiting tables, and I had my own apartment, and I was paying my bills. So I had real world responsibilities ever since I was 20, so I had those three things occupying my time. And then I also wanted to get a career started. So then that was the fourth thing. So it was basically 25% of my energy focused in multiple different directions. So of course I was going nowhere. Now during college, I waited tables supporting myself. I put myself through school, and I had an apartment with roommates, so I had bills to pay. So I put myself in the real world, right away. So it was never the fear of, oh gosh, what am I going to do after I graduate? I know some of my friends at the time that I went to school with had that fear, but I was already working and paying my bills. So I was not at all concerned about how I was going to support myself and what I was going to do next. I was just going to, once I graduated, keep waiting tables. So I waited tables 4 years during college, and then 4 years after college, 6 years during college. I forgot I stopped and started. It took me some time to finish my 4-year degree. So for about 9 years, I waited tables, and after I graduated college, I kept waiting tables, and I was really trying to get my career started. But I was also battling anxiety and depression. So what that meant was that I had a lot of clutter in my head. And so what that meant is that I couldn't really focus and be present for opportunities to come in. So I was very scattered, and I was not finding the solution. I just kept delaying my process until one day where I finally got present, cleared my mind, and followed my intuition, which made no logical sense. So I'm going to give you an example, and hopefully you can take and the example will help to lock it in so that you can take and apply this message if it's helpful for you. If you feel like you are struggling to get where you want to be with a goal or on your career path, maybe you want to change, but you don't know what. Maybe you do know what, but you don't know how, so you're not taking any action. Maybe you're trying, but you keep stopping and starting and struggling rather than making progress. This tip right here, using your intuition, can help you with all of those challenges. All right, so quick story that I had struggled for 4 years at this point. I was 26 years old. I was very, very, very frustrated because it wasn't for lack of effort. I was applying for jobs. I was going on interviews, but nothing felt right. And so I just kept waiting tables, but I really wanted to do more. I just didn't know what. So one night I focused on my frustration. That's a key tip I talk about a lot. Our frustration can often point us in the right direction. So pay attention to your emotions, good or bad. They're going to help you either in overcoming a challenge or in achieving a goal. Anyhow, so I said I want a new job, but I don't know what it is. And so that cleared my mind. It took the pressure off, so I wasn't searching for a solution. And this is something that I have really been working on basically for many years now, and I'm still working on it now in a different aspect, is is working to control. I've always been a driver, very achievement oriented. But when we're driving, pushing, searching, then we limit our ability to receive. So sometimes we have to pause and just let the answer come in, let the solution show up. We got to be present for that to happen. And so that's a gift and a success habit that I learned way back then, almost 20 years ago now, and I didn't even know what I was starting to implement, but it was basically like striking gold. If you can lock in this key success habit, it will help you accelerate on your path so much faster, and that is staying present, focusing on the frustration, staying present, letting go of the control of trying to control the solution, trying to map it out. Like, let it come to you, because it might be what it is you want, or it might be something better. So I said to myself, if I could do anything, what would I do? Powerful question, write that down. If I could do anything, what would I do? And just let the fear completely dissipate, because what difference does it make? If you could do anything, I mean, what difference does it make if you succeed or not? If you could do anything, what would you do? Most of us never let ourselves ask and then answer that question. Most of the time we don't get that question answered because we never ask the question. So be brave and get curious. Ask yourself, if I could do anything, what would I do? And that can lead you to your next step. It opens your mind, brings you present for an idea, a solution to present, which is so powerful and really, really cool. So then I went to sleep that night, present, letting the problem go, and just, see what happens. I woke up in the morning with an idea that made no logical sense, which was to get on. I said I would write. If I could do anything, I would write. So I got on this website for the city that I lived in, their local magazine. And the reason that made no logical sense is because I didn't think I was going to be able to support myself suddenly getting a writing job. I didn't have a lot of experience, and I didn't get a writing job. Instead, I found something different. I got a sales job, and I won't share the whole story here because I have shared it in other videos. But the key here, that the action that made all of the difference after struggling for 4 years, trying, pushing, driving, maybe this job, maybe this job, nothing was working out. I let go, and something came to me that made no logical sense for me to pursue because I had no sales experience, but I chose to pursue it anyway. And 3 weeks later, after struggling, pushing, driving for 4 years, I got a job and I changed my life and I started my sales career. And then that led to a whole path that eventually did lead to me publishing my first book on recruiting, Ready, Set, Recruit, the Hiring Manager's Guide to Recruiting with Confidence. Now, yes, my goal that if I could do anything, is I would write. But see, that opening my mind led me to the first step in the right direction. Now, had I leaned back on the logic and or the fear, well, how is this going to work? But this isn't sales is nothing to do with writing. I would have gone on a completely different path, and who knows, I maybe still would have gotten where I was going. But the point is, when you listen to your intuition, when you get present and you let yourself hear your intuition, getting present clears the mind, clears the clutter, so that you can hear yourself. And that's your intuition, hearing yourself. And that's going to point you in the right direction. So then it's your job to be brave and take a step in that direction, not knowing what the outcome is going to be. And that's all you have to see is your first step. And then, as Thomas Carlyle says, go as far as you can see. When you get there, you will be able to see further. So if you are struggling on your career path, trying to figure out what you want to do, trying to achieve a certain goal, maybe personal, maybe professional, and you just kind of keep beating your head up against a wall, which is how I felt for years, maybe the answer is to let go, so that the solution can show up. So this is advice from a control freak driver, where sometimes that works, and except for the times that it doesn't. And so pay attention. Are you making progress? Are you feeling excited even though it's challenging, whatever process you're working through or toward? Or are you just feeling frustrated and stuck? Well, then maybe you want to take a different approach. Try letting go and get present. State the problem. Don't look for a solution. Let the solution find you, and then you're going to get an idea. When it pops in your head, go in that direction. Write it down and take a step. So I hope that helped. If you got some value from the video, I do invite you to like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated on my next video. We'll see you soon.